Welcome to Ezayola Online English. Today we need to talk about some things that are also very important. Always remember that whatever topic we pick up in English language must be of help to you or to somebody out there. Today we are looking at infinitives. And when we talk about infinitives, they are aspects of the nouns. Of course, the nouns are names. Each time we mention nouns, the only thing that has to come into the mind of everyone is names. We talk about nouns, we are talking about names. There are names, of course. Everything in life has a name. There are names that are single words. There are names that are also seen as group of words. For example, when we mention Mike, Mike is the name as a single word, the name of a person, of course, but the name is a single name. That's why we call it noun. Remember, we have noun phrases. We equally have noun clauses. Those are the aspects of the names that involve group of words. Of course, we are not talking about those ones, but today we are talking about infinitives. The infinitives here on the board, they are equally the aspects of the names that have their own shape and nature in appearance. Just like we have the gerund, the gerund are verbs that are seen as nouns, the verbs that possess the ing form. Example, when we write something like eating, eating normally should be seen as a verb in the progressive tense, that is present continuous. A verb that possesses this nature is often seen as a verb in the progressive. But here we are looking at it not as a verb, but a noun. How? Why? Now, somebody can say, eating is a good habit. Eating is a good thing. Now, if you make a sentence such as, eating is a good thing, okay? Now, the eating here cannot be seen as a verb, rather it is a noun. That is the type of noun we call gerund. Sorry, that's a digression. We are not talking about gerund, of course. I only did because I need to tell you about the classes or the aspect, the different aspects of the nouns. Today, our topic is centered on the infinitives, which is another section, aspect rather, of the nouns. Now, what are infinitives? What are the type of nouns we refer to as the infinitives? Okay, let's take for instance, here, if we write something like to sing is my hobby. All right. Number two, if I write something like Chioma as a person loves to sing. Now look at these two expressions. The first one says, to sing is my hobby. All right? To sing. That's what we are talking about here. To sing is my hobby. And the second example says, Chioma loves to sing. Chioma loves to sing. All right, from the first expression, we are talking about something. Somebody who doesn't know or who must need to know should have to be informed about this type of situation where we have to sing as the subject. That's what we are talking about from this expression. We are talking about something. What is that? What are we referring to, which is my hobby? What we are referring to here is to sing. And that to sing, we don't see it as something else, if not now, because it is now the subject matter. That's the point. That's whatever we are talking about in this expression, to sing. And this type of noun is what we call infinitives. Okay? That's the point this morning. It is what we call infinitive, the kind of nouns that that are blended, the situation where we blend a verb with to. All right? We use to, maybe to eat, to dance, to run, to clap. Now look at all this. Number one, to eat. We have to dance. We have to run. And we have to clap. All these things are infinitives because the second words from under each of them, they are all verbs. And then we have to, which precedes those verbs. Now, because of this, we call this kind of, we call them infinitives, all right? Because of their nature, because of their shape. That's what we mean by infinitives. And normally, for you to understand, because somebody could get confused and begin to wonder, is this really possible? Remember, if they are actually nouns, that means if they are representing names, how do we know? Normally, you should know this. Anytime or anywhere we have the presence of a noun, remember that the possibility of replacing such nouns with a pronoun is not far-fetched. It is never a difficult thing. Example, when we say to sing is my hobby, we might decide to replace this with a pronoun. If it becomes possible, then there is no doubt, there is no confusion about believing or reason for believing that this is a name. Let us try to replace it with a pronoun. How do we do that? We can use it is my hobby. Have you seen it? Now we could say it is my hobby. What is your hobby? I have decided not to mention the name, but rather replacing it with what? A pronoun. It is my hobby. It is my hobby. All right, tell me what your hobby is. The name of that thing which is your hobby. That's when I will mention the name. And what is the name? To sing. Have you seen it? Now, to sing is my hobby. If I decide not to mention to sing, which is the name of something, as my hobby, I use a pronoun. It is my hobby. Or I could also say something. Something is my hobby. Have you seen it? Something is also a type, one of the types of pronoun. Something is my hobby. What is the name of that thing that is your hobby? The name is what? To sing. Have you seen it? Now, to sing is a name of something which is my hobby. And this is the subject of the sentence. Remember that nouns, they perform different functions. Part of the functions they perform is, it is either they are subjects or objects. We have situations of complement and all that. Now, in this case, what is the function of this name, this infinitive as a noun? What is the function? The function is that it is the subject of the verb is. What about here? Number 2, Chioma loves something. Chioma loves it. Okay? That's where whereby we don't want to mention the name of something that Chioma loves. Chioma loves it. And somebody might be drowned in the pool of confusion, and the person might ask, what is that thing that Chioma loves? I need to hear the name of something that Chioma loves. The name is what? To sing. She loves to sing. Have you seen it? So replacing this with a pronoun to tell us, to prove to us that this is a noun is also not a difficult thing. It is not far-fetched. Chioma loves it, or Chioma loves something. Okay? So this possibility opens our eyes to understand that this is a name. Now, remember I said this type of names, we call them infinitives. Okay? For the second one, for the number 2, to sing here is not the subject. The subject is Chioma. And then to sing is what? Is what? Of course, it is the object. We have subject, we have object. So in this situation, it is the object of the verb loves. Here it is the subject of the verb is. Thank you very much. If you've really enjoyed our video, we plead with you to kindly subscribe to our channel on Ezayola Online English.